Welcome on the panel discussion of seafarers. On the 25th of July every year, we celebrate Seafarers Day. I, being a captain and a seafarer, makes me very proud. And on behalf of all the seafarers, I take this privilege on celebration of Seafarers Day. I don't know how many of you know how much sacrifice and the contribution are being made by the seafarers all over the world. Needless to say, they have to sacrifice their families. On the contrary, they are doing great job to run the wheels of the trade at sea. On this day, I would like to introduce Captain Viriato Fernandez, ex-Indian Navy, Advocate Satish Naik, practicing lawyer, and Sri Michael Benny da Costa, Secretary of Goa Seafarers Association India and the ex-seafarer of Merchant Navy. Going forward, as I have already told you that the seafarers are going through hell of their life to see the families are happy all over and the trades are moving smoothly. While sacrificing and contributing, the seafarers have to go through mental torture by way of psychological disturbances, physical torture by way of rough weathers, by way of proper food. At times they don't get proper food, they have to wait for long anchorages. And when they come at home, they come in a way of happiness, but most of the seafarers are mentally disturbed. In this regard, I would like to ask Captain Viriato, are there any plans to set up sort of a counseling centers in the state of Goa so that our seafarers can be counseled when they come home? Because the environment at sea and the environment on shore is totally different, and somewhere there has to be balance for him to get re-energized and serve the nation, family and the state.
Yeah. First of all, on behalf of Sagle Goenka Ramche, I would like to wish all the seafarers and their families a very happy Seafarers Day. Amche pai seafarers asa, they are the ambassadors of Goa. They take a culture, heritage, amche Goenkar pan pai ha, they carry all over the world. There was a time, and even today, when they hear that there is a Goan seafarer, they prefer him. I interact with a lot of seafarers. There's a preference, the trust, that belongingness is there. Secondly, our seafarers send so much of remittance, which is in foreign exchange, precious foreign exchange in today's world. It is precious to the country as a whole. And once they send money to their families back home, their families, maybe they build a home, they buy electronic items. So in a way, they are churning the economy. They are giving a push to the economy. So they play a very important role in the functioning of the economy. So we have to ask, what does the seafarer get in return? Is the state doing enough to look after his welfare? Is there a guarantee when he comes back after sailing, he will go back to his job? So I feel there has to be a center in like one closed box, one particular center. Maybe South Goa Collectorate, government can think of opening an office or giving them some building where all the requirements of a seafarer can be met. For example, how to upgrade his training. If there are any vacancies, they can come, they can visit, okay, which ship, which port, what vacancy is there. He doesn't have to, Baba, macho poer hai, maka zata zale. No, he should be under one window, he should have this facility. There should be a legal help for him. Sometimes they'll end up in such ships where the companies are rogue companies or some agents are there. So he can look forward to a legal help. Does DGS play that type of role? No. Does the DGS have the data of all the seafarers? Actually, no. They have. So many Indians have gone. For that, we came to know during COVID time that such data is not there, and we had to reach out to the Prime Minister's office with names, with passport numbers, which ship they are there stranded. And that's how we came to know there's a lacune. I think so. Government can take up this. Make use of ex-seafarers with the experience, and we can build up. There is a seafarers organization. They should be taken as, given due recognition by the government to roll out this type of facilities for the seafarers. Where there are people.
Okay. Mr. Yatish, as he has already pointed out the difficulties that are being faced by the seafarers, तेज्या प्रमाणे आमी कितें कितें करपाक जाय आमच्या सीफेरराक लागून ते सगळें सांगलां. ताका लागून तो मागता की एक सेंटर ओपन करचें where they can get the legal help also and all the other information what is required for the seafarers. म्हाका एक विचारूंक सोदता की is there any initiatives taken by the government to collect the data of the seafarers, especially in Goa, where there are highly skilled master mariners, chief engineers, and other various ranks, where they can be utilized in lots of preparation of SOPs in the maritime sector of India. There are agencies like Company of Master Mariners, then Engineers India. So we can approach them. So are there any initiative taken by the government on that scale?
First of all, I extend my best wishes to all the seafarers, because their hard work does not only support their family, it helps the state, its economy, its betterment. So I extend my best wishes to all the seafarers from Goa, their families, for supporting them and for being a party and partaking in this very difficult life of a seafarer. Having said that, seafarer as an industry has got various aspirations. The biggest aspiration of the seafarers community was the Seafarers Pension. The Seafarers Pension, and I can say with this certainty that Goa was a pioneering state to start Seafarers Pension. And now you have got a Seafarers Pension in place. In fact, on 25th of June 2021, the fresh notification was issued, under which the seafarers get a pension of about 2,500 rupees. And there is a definition clause of beneficiary. So whoever is eligible under that definition clause has got governmental support to that extent. Number two, as far as the data, what you said, under this scheme itself, there is a registration process in as much as section 8 of the notification of the scheme. It speaks about the beneficiaries registered under Goa Welfare Pension Scheme for Seafarers, which was a scheme of 2018. So those who register for this pensionary benefit get registration with the government so that they can avail this scheme if they fit into the definition clause. Now, as far as your issue of health this is concerned, now understand that health in Goa as such, we've got health centers, primary level, urban health centers, community health centers, district hospitals, Goa Medical College, super specialties. This is all free for everybody. whether it is for a common citizen or whether he is a seafarer or whether he is a student or whether he is a professional or anybody. But what you said, that I don't know, because seafarers also have their association. Seafarers have their association, and they as an association also are bound to have certain structures in place. I do not know. But one thing I can tell you, that as far as the government is concerned, as far as the party in power, which is the BJP, is concerned, they have been utmost sensitive to the seafarers in their aspirations, in their needs, and in the support that can be provided to the seafarers in the best way possible. In fact, therefore I said that a pension scheme of this nature, Goa is a pioneering state. That itself shows the commitment. But then so many things and ideas are there, but they have to fit within the scheme of law. They have to fit within the scheme of procedure. Captain Saab, you yourselves know. You yourselves are involved in Goa in so many spheres of maritime activity. You yourself know that unless there is a structural mechanism which enables, because of the, what you say, the law has to be permitting it to do some things. Some things may, now you said specialized health this. Now you already have got the health infrastructure in place which is available for everybody. In Goa, you've got health infrastructure in place which is available for all citizens freely. So whether you make something specific only for seafarers, so I look at it that way. You already have. Now, improvement is a continuous process, and that applies to us as individuals also, not only to an institution or an entity.
Yeah, my question was actually, there are company of master mariners, and there is an organization under chief engineers, and they are very much expert because they have traveled all over the world, and they have gone through various international maritime laws and the regulations. So my question to you is that why can't we take the help of those master mariners or chief engineers in our activities?
See, therefore I am saying, when the seafarers come to the state for whatever, they have to come to the state, correct?
Yeah.
When they come to the state, and if they so make a application for an avenue which so arises, and if the permissibility of the law opens up that avenue for employment for whoever, the opportunity is there. But then there are three things to it. Number one, the seafarer has to apply. Number two, has to be fitting the eligibility. Because laws cannot be relaxed selectively. Laws, whatever they are there, laws have to be this. But at the same time, sensitivity in the law is paramount. That's what I said, that there are now this pension scheme. 15 years ago, this pension scheme was not there. Today you have got a pension scheme. So improvement is a continuous process. But understand that for a state to make provision in its budget and be a pioneer in giving pension to seafarers. See, understand, seafarers work very hard, this, that. In acknowledgement of all that, the state has given them a pension scheme. So these mechanisms are there. What you say is in a way, I take it, that seafarers, when they are eligible, and if the eligibility meets the requirement, and the requirement meets the situation, then he is eligible for it.
Yeah, okay. No, but next question is, now the government has recently floated Agniveer in a similar line. Is there, I would like to suggest that a seafarer working after certain years at sea should be employed somewhere in the states. Is there any chances of such scheme that can be floated for the seafarers? Because they are also going through very hardship out at sea.
You're asking me?
Yes.
See, I cannot speak for the government as far as these proposals are concerned. But I can tell you one thing, that this government is extremely sensitive. The pension scheme itself is a testimony to the sensitivity. But what you say the government has to take a decision, and whatever best the government can do, I'm sure the government will do and has been doing.
Okay. Mr. Michael Benny, now you know that there are so many seafarers from Goa who are working and contributing to the state, family, to the nation. Has there been any recognition that has been taken of those seafarers and appreciation of those seafarers? And what has been done for that recognition and appreciation of those sacrificing seafarers?
First of all, I would wish all the Goan seafarers and the Indian seafarers and all the seafarers over the world a happy Seafarers Day. And coming back to our state, Goa, this association which I represent, the Goan Seamen's Association of India, was formed in 2010. It is not a very big, but we have done a lot of things. First of all, I will just try to cover up what Captain Virato has said and Advocate Nitin. Then we will come to the see, regarding the Goan seafarers, I am very proud to say that our ancestors, has kept our flag very much. Before
Absolutely.
The British, our Goan seafarers were working for the British companies. It was called British India. Captain might be aware of it. He also might be aware. And it was the Goans. So we should be proud. And I will always say, I am a seafarer. No doubt I have left sea last 18 years. This is one thing. I'm just trying to cover up, just brush. Second thing, we were talking about the remittance, what we get. When Dr. Manmohan Singh was there as a governor of RBI, he had to take the foreign exchange, what Captain has referred, from the treasure, which was bought by the seafarers, not only Goan seafarers, all the Indian seafarers, and use because we were down in economy. I will like to give a very small example. In Goa, the government, whoever the government, Congress, the BJP or whichever past governments, always say Goa is dependent on mining, on tourism. But till today, no one is saying about seafarers. Seafarers itself is a big industry. Forget the shipping part of it. As you also have mentioned and Captain also has mentioned. See, I am coming from a village called Shinshini. We have 9 banks, 3 cooperative societies. Shinshini is either depending on tourism or mining. Why there are so many banks in Shinshini? This is a big question mark that people should understand. There is so much of money, still banks want to come. You name the bank is there in Shinshini. We don't have tourism. We don't have mining. And this was my same thing when we had come with this association. I had made a statement and there was a freelancing reporter. He made a study on it, he made a survey and he came to know that so much of money is there lying in the bank. But when it comes to taking loan, seafarers want a loan. In the pandemic itself, they were suffering. They had removed loan for car, flat, is that. No bank provided loan. No bank. No bank provided loan. No bank gave them help. So what is the bank doing? Only taking money from the seafarers? It is give and take. This is the second point what I am coming to. Recognition of the seafarers. The BJP government, I am proud to say, had started a seafarer cell, because you might not be aware of it. Seafarer cell, but unfortunately it died by itself. And as Captain Virato has mentioned, they take an office in South Goa, this and that. There was an office. And on the top, the government itself put a case on GSAI saying that it had, captured the office illegally. And a lot of things, the case is still going on. So the government should withdraw this case, because what GSAI is doing is for the seafarers, not for us benefit. Representation for other, as you have mentioned, you can use the seafarers in different departments of Goa government. Like, for example, tourism. We have been all over the world. We know what facilities are there all over the world on the beaches and all that. So if a seafarer or a representative from the GSAI is been given, we can advise, we can give suggestions to the tourism department. Because see, different countries have different ways of bringing revenue from the tourism. And coming back to the Seafarers Welfare Pension Scheme, I will really say our late Chief Minister Manor Parrikar was a visionary person. He brought this scheme, and myself and our past president, we had a meeting with him, and he said if the government can give money for the sick units, when they go sick, they give them some scheme, like paying them some benefits. Why not for the seafarers? Because seafarers, as mentioned, bring so much of remittance. And last I will say is, this seafarer scheme should be made permanent. The government should make it permanent, not every time we come on the road and do all this drama. We don't want to do drama. But the government, we are obliged to the government. They are taking care, but they have to make it permanent, and they should give for seafarers who have applied new. This is my request to the government. As the government has done so much, they must take care fully. And the last thing what I would like to cover is regarding the health, as you mentioned. See, in Goa, there is a hospital in Kunkoli. It is run by Nusi. It was run by Wakhad Nusi and many others. This is a big, huge hospital. We had requested in the pandemic to our Honorable Chief Minister to take over this hospital and use for the seafarers as well for the people of Goa, because this money is from the seafarers. So my kind request to the Honorable Chief Minister and the government to take over this hospital and run it. Give benefits to the seafarer. Give some discount. Not, if you are not giving free, you can give some discount to them. This is my last thing. And coming back to your question, what did you...
It was my appreciation.
Appreciation, see, appreciation for whom? For the seafarers.
Yes.
Seafarers have to be appreciated, because I have mentioned all the points, so I don't have to repeat why we have to. We have kept the name. If you say, I'm from Goa, they know. Anywhere, any part of the world you go. So we really need appreciation, and government has taken this, but there is a lot to be done.
Yeah, what I mean to say, appreciation means company recommends certain seafarers have done excellence in their services. So some token of appreciation by the government or anything can be recommended. But that will boost the confidence of the sacrificing and contributing seafarers. Okay, here everybody appreciated on shore. Like policemen, every time you see the medals and other things. But in seafarers community, I find it very less. So somewhere there has to be push from the government, where company can always say that these seafarers have done excellent job, and if company, as per the norms and this thing of the government, they can really appreciate a seafarer, because in every sphere I've seen the appreciation going on. Somewhere seafarers are lacking. So please take a note.
Of course, the seafarers are lacking. Seafarers have given a lot to Goa and India, but nothing. Seafarers have not got anything. This seafarer scheme is nothing. This is peanuts. 2,500 is what? So you can't even buy medicines. The state of the seafarer today is very bad. They are just waiting when we'll get that money and they'll go and buy medicines. Forget the food. You can't even get medicines of this. But I don't blame the government. I am not blaming as such. But don't think this is a big thing. This is nothing. This is just peanuts. Now, coming to the point, how can we raise funds where we can take care of the seafarers? There was, as mentioned, our late Chief Minister Manoj Parrikar had discussed with us, has come up with a scheme. For example, I'm a working seafarer. I contribute $20 or $50, and government will put $50. And we make a scheme where when you get retired, you will get the money. But see, Seafarers Welfare Pension Scheme itself has not gone, has a narrow neck. Sometimes gets stuck. After 6 months they give, after another 6 months. So that first of all, this pension scheme shall be made fixed and smooth running. Every seafarer has to get this. Then we can think about something else.
Yeah, any efforts are being made by the association for getting that type of scheme that was actually planned by our late Chief Minister, Mr. Manoj Parrikar?
See, we are putting 100% efforts. But what has happened? We are not a government body. We are an NGO. We can only ask, and the government has to provide. We can't always go on fighting with the government, come on streets, doing that.
Okay, finally, as you said that seafarer is a big industry. I've seen a lot of villages and big banks are there because of remittances and survival of the banks and the economy. Okay, has there been any roadshow been made for marketing the seafarers of India by the government? Because seafarer itself is a big industry and there's much scope for the seafarers of Goa. We see it in a cargo ship or on a passenger ship. But I feel like somewhere this industry has to be taken high.
We have already declared, GSAI has already declared that we are going to make an awareness camp in each and every village of Goa, from Perne to Kankan. Why I am saying this is we have already declared and it is on the papers. Only thing what happened is we are involved in many things, so we have to check out the program. We suddenly can't go to Perne and we have to take hold of. There are a lot of seafarers in Perne, in Sankli, there are a lot of. But there are still they are not aware. Because I being myself, I get a phone call. I want to go on ship. But you took a passport aha, oh yeah, CDC aha, CDC mutte. See, so it is then we have to explain them. So what we are trying to do under the leadership of our President, Mr. Frank Viegas, we have already decided, our committee has already decided to have an awareness. It has even come on newspaper. We are going to have an awareness all over Goa. But it will take time.
Captain Viriato, you want to say something?
See, whatever points he has raised, is I'm coming back to what I had said in the beginning. We have to have a dedicated department from the government who looks after the seafarers, all issues, not only welfare. You said medical. Probably Advocate Yatish said there are good hospitals, there are good, but probably having also been at sea, the type of psychological problem what they have is totally different. Maybe we can have a dedicated specialized dish in GMC or anywhere who deals with these problems faced by seafarers. You know, continuously at sea, you're seeing only water, you get. Secondly, as he said, he gets a call from Sankelim or somewhere, job ha, then he has to passport ha, CDC ha. For that, there must be under a single window, a person comes, Baba, he registers himself. If there is any vacancy in this field, I should get a call. You know, this is my requirement, these are the things. Secondly, why are we saying in Goa it should be there? Goans are the pioneers when it comes to seafarers. But in 2007, there was a bill introduced in Parliament. And that bill was to set up a maritime university. And the MPs of Kerala, West Bengal, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, and Andhra Pradesh, where this activity is there, lot of seafarers, they were fighting that university should be set up in their state. Finally, they agreed. There was a standing committee where it was referred to, and they gave their verdict as it should be set up in Chennai. In 2008, I think so, somewhere in March, 13th March to be precise, that thing became a reality. Now, we don't have anything in Goa, affiliation. Now, what happens is the seafarers, young fellows, they want to upgrade themselves. They have to answer the exam, they have to go to Bombay, or they have to go to other places. This is where we can have a center. How IGNOU centers are there? Our seafarers don't have to go to other states. Now, MMD had started something for a short time, limited courses in Vasco during COVID time, but that also got closed. But if government, this is an opportunity for the government also to do something where we can get affiliated to that university. You know, it will save time of our seafarers in traveling, in spending money. They can do this here. Secondly, awareness programs. I am a student of Don Bosco, Penjim. When I was in 8th, 9th and 10th, 3 years, I was given vocational training, all of us. Vocational training in the Directorate of Technical Education. Every Saturday we used to go. So I knew exactly, I fell in love with engineering, with that small thing, smithy, forgery, carpentry. Something like that maybe in 8th, 9th, 10th or 11th, where the students are told this is also an option for you. You know, maybe small awareness program for him. You don't have to be only doctors and engineers and advocates. No, yeah, tumka opportunity. It's a good life. You are given a small dose at a young age. So he also thinks I have to work towards getting into that line. In the schools it can start. Other thing is girls. We are saying beti bachao, beti padhao. No girls are there from Goa who are there. Whereas there is one institute, if I'm not, Tolani Maritime Institute in Pune. As per that, over 50 women till date have passed out. They have reached captain's position, chief engineers. Our women in Goa also should get that opportunity. Girls. Maybe awareness is not there. Those opportunities should be there. You know, and one more thing is about, and by the way, there are scholarship for women. The government has, government of India has this thing, scholarship for women. There are two institutes, NUSI and CSCAN in Goa. They're private institute, let's be frank. Government institute which is there, I think so, you are heading it and you are trying to build it up, upgrade it in Betim. We saw sometime back in the news, all rainwater coming in, you were there in the background, that's how I remember. Yes. But, and that institute, I think so, you're catering only to the inland seafarers, barge and all those. If that can be upgraded, and where seafarers also who go into international waters, if they also can be catered, it's a suggestion. You know, under the same roof, and this is where your first point, how we can involve experienced seafarers, experienced master mariners. This is where we can rope them in to impart their knowledge.
Not only master marine and engineers.
Different categories.
All categories.
All. Yeah. Bosun can be utilized.
Yeah, all. Because see what happens is, it is not that only the captain and chief engineer plays the important role. It is all the ranks. Because what happened like in Goa, when like tomorrow we are having a felicitation of chief engineer and master, there are, our crab mentality. Why only master and chief engineer? Why not other ranks? But all these years, 10 years, we have felicitated all the ranks. It is not only master and chief engineer. But they also come from down to up. They are not directly become master or chief engineer. So all ranks can be involved.
Correct. And on the last this, I mean, it's a government can look into, immediately they can start. That any seafarer who is going anywhere in the world, whichever company, he has to register.
Yes.
This particular cell with the government, because COVID is a learning lesson for us. So that government knows exactly which person has gone to which company, which country. DGS is keeping. They give them that token number. Then they also give whatever, I think so every month $10 are contributed. Where does it go? I don't want to hop onto that. But this is one thing the government of Goa can have full statistics,
control,
data of those who are now serving.
Yes.
Now who are serving. Anything happens, government can facilitate. Yes, so-and-so person is admitted in so-and-so hospital, in so-and-so country. The family is kept informed. They get एक फिलिंग जाता कितें जाणां आमचो सरकार आमच्या पासत पळयता कोण आहा थंय कोण आहा तो शेजारीक फोन नो गव्हर्मेंट इज देयर वी विल लुक आफ्टर यू यू आर आवर पीपल वी आर योर गव्हर्मेंट समथिंग लायक दॅट कॅन we can start this.
I would want to interject. As far as their society is concerned, their union is concerned, or their association of seamen, first of all, they are doing good work, there's no doubt. But as far as this maritime university is concerned, and integration is concerned, awareness is concerned, a large role comes upon the association.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
Because understand that association is in touch. The association, see, all the seafarers work in private companies. They are all in various companies in various waters, far and wide. Now, which is the association or which is the entity which has got technically an umbilical cord and a link with the seafarer from Goa into the international waters is their association. So they are doing great work. I know we are reading in the papers and we are seeing even tomorrow I think you all have a function every year. I have been reading it. But the bigger role comes of the association for three things. If at all, what you said about the Maritime University, it is to facilitate people who have got a bent of mind of becoming a seaman at a young age. If they want to excel into the sphere in their latter part of education or latter part of life, then the channelization can be better effectively done through the association. Number two, as far as the awareness is concerned, now CDC, you got that very important issue. Even we get calls, how to get that, how to get this, how to get this. See, what happens is they are all people who have worked. They have knowledge. They know because they have themselves followed the procedure. Therefore, the association becomes the vital organ when it comes to this affiliation, when it comes into data, when it comes even into this issue of awareness. You go into the sea. How do you choose a company? How do you choose a company? What issues of the agreement should you see? Guidance to prospective seamen. They are doing it. They are doing it. There is no doubt about it. Even in his individual capacity, I am sure he must have guided hundreds of people. But they are in a best position because they are the umbilical cord to the seamen and to the state. Now, I can tell you one thing. The state of Goa has got a dedicated NRI commissionerate. I'm telling you, it is functioning with so much of attention to detail. The commissioner, Advocate Narendra Sawekar, is hands-on this job. His director, Mr. Anthony D'Souza, I'm sure all of us know about them and have heard about them. You see, I'm not talking of seafarers as much as give me this to give you an instance of Ukraine students. They were students who were far and wide, far away. Each and every student was channelized their way back in Goa through the NRI Commissionerate. So the NRI Commissionerate in Goa is doing excellent work, is doing the best it can.
Of course,
Even this scheme has been put in process, put in motion with the government through its organs. That is the NRI Commissionerate, the Department of Finance, everybody working in tandem. Because this kind of a scheme is a novel scheme. See, understand this. This is a scheme which is unheard of in the rest of the country that way. Am I right?
Of course, sure. Sir.
It is unheard of. How many states do we have? Goa is the pioneering state. And as he said, the ex-chief minister of the time got this scheme within the body of law, practice, rules and procedure. Got the administrative
it was
approval.
Very difficult.
So these things have to be appreciated because these are out of the box thinkings. Now, therefore, I said NRI Commissionerate is doing the best it can. You've got a dedicated directorate staff which is doing the best it can. And I gave you an example of Ukraine students because that was just recently. Why I gave you that example is because ultimately they are all our Goan boys and girls who were in Ukraine. Question was, when that happened, how do you get them back? They were caught in a situation. Just for the interest of the viewers and for us all to know, the Department of NRI, the Commissionerate, was meticulously working with the embassy, with the High Commission, to ensure safe passage of every student, and for which the Goa government's NRI Commissionerate and the Directorate of NRI should be praised. Because it is not easy, from a war-torn country. They have done the best. In seafarers also. If you speak about the Seafarers Pension in other states, they still must be thinking how to do it.
We ourselves get a lot of calls from Kerala, Orissa.
Okay. Because in
Chennai.
those states, they are still thinking, now maybe Kerala. Kerala has got many seafarers, lot of seafarers like Goa. They are still thinking how to do it. But in Goa, you already have it in place. So therefore I said that we have got a lot of things which we have put in place block by block by block through administrative acumen, through leadership, through vision. But we have to all work together and ensure that ultimately the seaman works for his country, his state, his family. So whatever we can do has to be done, is being done. There is no doubt about it. And one more on a parting note, because I feel the time is also what I feel, the association which has been doing great work. Every year they felicitate people on the Seamen's Day. Every year they acknowledge people. They are taking up so many causes. Everything is being done by them through a systematic manner. But if the guidance to prospective seafarers is also given, because they are hands-on, because they know what is life there. Who are the Seamen's Association? People who have worked there. Their experience cannot be substituted by anybody. That is what I am saying.
No, if I may just say, Mr. Yatish, no, this thing, but you are pushing everything on the association.
No.
What I am saying is,
I didn't say that.
No, what I am saying, I'll tell you about the. No, let me complete. You said about NRI, because we have a first-hand experience. During the COVID, NRI commissioner may be good, the setup may be good. Believe me, hats off to that director NRI, Mr. Anthony D'Souza. Just once we interacted during the COVID time. We did not know whom to interact with, to be very frank. There was no agency.
That's
so we sent, no it wasn't. We sent finally a mail to the Prime Minister's office that 23,449 seafarers across India we have traced out. These are the names, these are the passport numbers, this is on the ship, so and so forth. The Prime Minister's office, we were grateful that they responded within 24 hours and they said, we want the authenticity of your data. And that is why the IB people came checked, and then we get a call from Mr. Anthony D'Souza. He says, I am the NRI director. We did not know. Everything was locked. He opened the secretariat for us. Personally took the keys, went, because nobody was there. We sat there and he said, we don't have anything for seafarers. This is first time it is. We have for all other NRIs. Fully, absolutely everything in order. But for seafarers, this is the first time something is happening. And also, I will tell you the greatness of that man is, he said, you guide us. On behalf of the government, I am telling you, guide us. We sat with him for 3 days. We did the SOPs. He would send it to the Prime Minister's office. After that, it started going to the DGS. Because we found the DGS is not cooperating. So it is to go via PMO's office. And that is how the NRI director who was there, he created a small cell of 2 people for the seafarers thing then. You know. And whatever we told, they trusted us. Because we did it in interest of our own goals. And that's how the ships came. The SOPs, they just maybe minor changes they made. Same SOPs were implemented. The delay, not being allowed to come out of the ship is a different thing. But they now know that this can happen. And they have all the knowledge. When we sat, we did. The best thing is he was open. Mr. Anthony D'Souza was open. And it was a Sunday, I remember, he opened. So probably to ensure this doesn't, in case something happens in future, seafarers, there's something is in place on a positive note.
No, therefore I said, I am speaking here with personal knowledge also, that the NRI Commissionerate and the Directorate of NRI is really, really working hard. There's no doubt. Now, I should not be got wrongly when I said that the association is a good place to disseminate information, awareness to prospective seamen. Why I said it? You said in your facts that you put here that lot of people want to become seamen, but they don't know what is the process. They don't know how to choose a company. They don't know how we should do documentation and which essential clauses should be looked at. So many things are there, because when they are there, their guarantee of health, security is with the company, because they are far away. Now, who is in the best position of knowing these things out of experience is the association.
But they don't have the legal sanctity.
No, listen. See, they are association registered under Societies Registration Act, if I am not mistaken.
Yes.
They are 5 years, they submit their registration and all that is happening. But why I am saying
10 years.
10 years. They submit their accounts and all that.
Everything.
Why I am saying is, I am speaking of Mr. Lenny only here. He himself must have got experience which cannot be substituted by anybody. In that association, each person has got a vast experience. So what happens? They are in a better position of guiding people, because they know from their experience where possible hitches can arise. Am I right?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Where possible problems can occur. Who can be in a better position? A person who has gone through the experience of it. And they are there as an association in Goa to protect the interests of the seamen, and also they are working to guide the people who want to be seamen. It is in that context.
But that is a private organization.
No.
Give them that government help.
See, as you said, when the situation so arose during COVID for keeping, after when they arrive here, to keep the people quarantined, to keep the facilities open, the government has done through the commissionerate maximum it could. There's no doubt.
But you know, they had to go on a hunger strike.
No.
If you remember.
Listen.
So very fact. No, let me finish. If they have to go on hunger strike, that means they don't have a recognition.
No, it is like this.
They went on a hunger strike in front of the chief minister's office.
tell you.
Captain, what happens is, there are 2 things. The mindset, Indian mindset. I used to work on, my last position was third engineer, and I worked with Greek officers mostly. See, what the Greek says, the Indian mother feeds the baby in time. The Greek mother feeds the baby only when the baby cries. See, what is happening in India is that, or in Goa, We have to cry. Then only you are given feed. You got my point? I'm not saying BJP government is not doing.
Successive.
When we started this association, the Congress was in power. Digambar Kamath was the chief minister. I myself, being the secretary that time also, I met so many times to him, but nothing moved. Nothing. But praise God, our आमचो स्वर्गेस मनोहर पारेकरान तेणें हें बरें येवजण चोयली. ही हॅड अ विजन. तेणें पयलें होरेंच हें मनशांक फावो आनी तेणें तें केलां. पूण एट द सेम टायम हांव म्हणटा इतल्यान जायना. कॅप्टनान सांगलां तें जाय तें करपाचें उरलां.
तुमकां तेंच सांगलें इम्प्रुवमेंट म्हणटा तो आतां म्हजेरूच घे. हांवूच इम्प्रुवमेंट थांबोवंक शकना म्हजेर. इट इज अ कंटिन्युअस प्रोसेस. सो फॉर दॅट बट वन थिंग आय कॅन टेल यू, हांव तेंच सांगतालो तुमकां कोविडाच्या टायमार वॅक्सिनेशन जावं क्वॉरंटायन जावं आनी कितें जावं, जेन्ना परिस्थिती निर्माण जाली तेन्ना समर्थ आशिल्लें सरकार. इतलें म्हणटा.
Okay, on this occasion, I would like to thank Mr. Benny, Advocate Satish, and Captain Viriaito for your wonderful ideas, the difficulties what seafarers are facing, and the administrative difficulties what government are also facing. But on behalf of all our seafarers, I once again emphasize all the institutions who are working for the seafarers to keep on improving, bang on to the government's doors, okay, so that our justice are being made to our seafarers who are really sacrificing for the country, for the state, for their family. Thank you very much.